Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thanks for Trying podcast, episode 15, with my very special guests, Jehst and Hugo Cheguin, aka DJ Beats from People Just Do Nothing, Kurupt FM, all that excellent stuff. As always, it's recorded in my front room. There's fuckloads of swearing. I get real boozy. If you love the Thanks for Trying podcast, make sure you subscribe on iTunes, on whatever it is you use for your podcasts. Make sure you leave a comment, share it, tell people, all of that. And on September the 17th, if you are in London, buy tickets and come down to the Thanks for Trying podcast live. We are back. If you came to the one in December, you know it gets fucking ridiculous. Starring returning guest, Doc Brown, and second returning guest, Asim Chowdhury, aka your buddy G. Tickets are selling real fast. Make sure you go cop them right now. Enjoy the podcast. Welcome to episode 15 of the Thanks for Trying podcast with my very special guests, Jehst and Hugo, aka DJ Beats.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. There's tons of people in. There's tons of people in here.
100,000.
100,000. There's just
hard tickets.
Man, like we sold out.
Yeah.
Early.
It's a shellers.
It was one of them raves, man.
It's a Stormzy show.
Jeez. Thank you both for coming. I really appreciate that.
I like that broth. That's like we're both.
Yeah.
Your bro. That's
both
cool.
bros.
That's cool. Man, just invented a new word within like 30 seconds of the podcast.
I like to keep it moving like that, you know, just keep on reinventing myself, you know, like David Bowie.
Rewriting the dictionary.
Yeah,
daily.
like
do you boo boo.
So all right, so let's start off with the hard hustle, the promo, because I think that's a beautiful. I think it's a beautiful place to start. Jehst, you've got a new album.
Yeah, it's called the Hard Hustle Promo.
I mean, great mixtape
part
2,
9.
hosted by DJ Clue.
Yeah, absolutely.
94 tunes.
Perfect. Not enough tunes, some might say.
And that's on DatPiff right now.
Great.
You can get that.
datpiff.demon.gov.org. Yeah, cool. All right, perfect.
I don't even know.
GeoCities. All right,
that's
cool.
the one.
All right, great.
Theresa May's my CEO.
Great,
and
good.
That's how
She's so good at handling things.
In it. Iron Fist of Incompetence Recordings is the label.
I've definitely watched the porno with that exact.
The porno we turned it into a record label.
So tell me about the goddamn album.
No, the album is called Billy Green Is Dead, based on or inspiration taken from the Gil Scott-Heron joint.
Okay. Because I didn't know that. That's
where I steal all of my ideas from people with far greater artistic skills than myself, and that's how you do modern art. That's what you do.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All of my art is stolen.
No, but you know, no idea's original.
That's a very good
We've
point.
been stroking our beards.
When you do have a beard now, you just
stroke. Because before I was just the air and it didn't have command the same authority.
I feel very naked.
It's like, look at this guy pretending to stroke an imaginary beard. So I said, no,
I feel very naked without a beard, and it's a very tough situation.
You had the OG. You had you know what I mean? He was deep in the beard game early, if I remember rightly. I have to give you full beard.
12 years old, I had a beard.
Standard,
man. Like, fuck. I'd had a beard for a long time, but, you know, I found that I was hiding being fat under my beard. And so when I got rid of it, I was like, now I've got no excuse. I have to lose weight.
I thought it was a Benjamin Button type thing.
Yeah, that's it. Lose 10
regressing,
years.
Like you're just getting.
That's true. I mentally.
You're going backwards through puberty right now.
Were you the shop guy?
Your voice is unbreaking live on air.
I know.
Like by the end of the podcast.
How long did it take you for you to grow that? Because that's quite a.
But as long as it took yours to fall out with the.
True.
Took a while. You know what I mean. It's been like, you know, it's got cut back.
You're right, okay.
It suffered some cutbacks under the Tory regime.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But then I said, nah, and I came back full power to the people. That's you know what I mean? It's been a love-hate relationship.
It's been a process.
It's been a love-hate relationship, shall we say. Some people, you know what I mean? Not always. Doesn't always go down well.
Hugo, have you always had a beard? What's going? I definitely feel like envy right now.
Yeah. I've never Mac freed it ever.
Yeah,
really. Yeah.
You've never shaved a razor.
I look like I had to do it for the first series. I look like a swollen pig, a baby pig child. So
Sick.
yeah,
Mad Bear Pig.
yeah. It's, same as you, man.
Yeah.
I am fat, so I hide it all. It's a good hiding technique.
It's a great. I found that like it gave great definition and context to my face.
Yeah.
So like without it, there was, I felt like
It's really bonding right now.
it's a bonding situation.
And
Like,
square up the jaw a bit.
Touch.
yeah, like definitely.
I thought someone might punch someone just then, but it's actually
It's a beautiful
bond.
moment. Yeah, no. This
It
is
is
2017. You can
relate,
be
man.
honest.
Yeah.
It's very relatable.
Keeping it so hipster right now. With
Oh,
the
100%.
beard talk. It's
Yeah.
quite. Did you bring any craft ales for me to review? Because I'll happily do that.
That's
We can
a
go
really
full
good shout.
hipster.
I mean,
And I'll just break down the IPAs and whatnot.
yeah, I actually did big you up in a previous podcast because we were talking about when we were staying at my house in Manor House years ago, and we were out in the garden, and we were like, fucking hell, man, Shoreditch is changed. We're talking about Hackney's changed. It's all these hipsters, man. Fuck. And then we both looked at each other and went, oh my God, you're a rapper that's running his own label.
It was us.
And I was out in the garden doing like gardening, wearing a pink Dale Winton supermarket sweet jumper. Wow. And we were like, that is us.
Wow.
You were those guys, man.
We contributed.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
We made our contribution.
Well, listen, if he's not going to promote it because his album is all about Theresa May, so
Yeah, how does this? It is. I mean, what's the deal? I don't know. Am I speaking live or in the future tense or the past tense?
This goes out next week, so you can.
So I'm
say,
like, it's out now.
you
Go
can
and buy
say
the
whatever
album.
you want, but then
Cup
people
the album.
added mystery. People may listen to this in a year's time.
If you listen to it in a year's time, still cop the album.
Still cop it.
Please. It's been a year.
It's been a year. There's only two copies sold.
2 sales.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So
let's hope not.
So it's
Let's hope
Y&R.
not.
It's Y&R. That's sick.
Yeah, I had to just keep. I kind of knocked on a couple of doors. I did think, let me see what's out there on a label flex, but it just makes sense. It just made sense. It didn't make, it just made sense to keep building.
Yeah.
So, but I'm dealing with the workload of it right now, like juggling plates and wearing all the different hats and just trying to keep it moving. But yeah, it's Y&R. It's a strong look. Butcher, Beat Butcher, co-executive producer, kind of helped me just kind of focus on a bunch of tracks and really kind of build like the sonic kind of identity of the album.
Yeah.
And then because I was kind of more focused on trying to take it in a concept direction with like the content of the songs, so it was a good dynamic kind of push and pull, because Butcher is like the ultimate hater. He hates everything. It's all whack. So in a way it was, not only did it get rid, it kind of got through a lot of demos that were like, all right, you're going through like 40, 50, 60 tracks, and he's just like, I don't know whether there's even an album in all these recordings.
Yeah.
But then once I started fighting for because sometimes it'd be a song, they'd be like, no, I'm not feeling. I'd be like, no, I have to use this. So then you fight for it, and then you try and make the song as, get the approval, get it up to a certain level, standard of production and whatnot. So, it was another like Blood, Sweat and Tears album. It was like, every time I do an album, I say this, like, I want to just make an album in a controlled environment, in a controlled like amount of time, space, and with a certain, it never really works out like that, so.
But also because you end up dragging songs, I know personally, like for my new album, songs that I made 3 years ago are on this album because they're just, they fit in perfectly. It doesn't matter when they're made, if the vibe is right and it's meant to be there. Sometimes it's a feeling more than anything else. Yeah, they go more.
I think songs as well that are out now have probably generally, unless you're like Khaled or Drake or someone, like they've generally been around on a computer for like a couple years.
Yeah.
Anyway,
definitely pretty like normal. Well, people might not say it. But
they've definitely lived a little bit. Because a lot of people that may not know that obviously you are a ridiculous songwriter.
Real talk,
producer.
Drop definitely drop. Drop science on this because people would need to know, man.
It's very important. Like, so you've produced and written for a lot of very successful people.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Go on. Now's the time. This is what you need to drink.
Yeah, just I'm lucky, man. That's
So it's Emili Sande, of course.
He's keeping it Kendrick Lamar humble right now. He's keeping it real.
yeah, Emili, Sam Smith, a few other
minor artists that you probably didn't really.
just like pop music, but I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
start making pop music. But
Okay, so where did you start out? What kind of vibe did you start with?
I just wanted to make J Dilla beats really for like 10 years, and then
Yep.
I decided that I'm not J Dilla, and I'm just gonna,
It's a tough realization we go through at some
like the
stage.
shittest J Dilla beats I've ever heard, like out of key bass lines and shit. But yeah,
Yeah, we all deal with that. And so, at what point did you go? Fuck it, I just need to. Because you're in a duo as well.
yeah, it's not just me. I work with a guy called Harry Craze, who's like sick. Like he was part of sort of early dubstep and like Antisocial. I don't know if you heard of them, but
Yep.
yeah, he's all part of that movement. And yeah, he's super, super sick, man. I think he felt sorry for me, to be honest. Like, he felt sorry for me working in Foot Locker and helped me out. So yeah, he brought me on his journey.
Sick.
But then he stopped getting discount on the
Yeah.
crepes.
I
He
still
was
got the plug. I still got the plug.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I've still got a bad habit. Yeah.
So at what point? So people just do nothing. Obviously, came about quite a few years now, and we spoke
Yeah,
on
man.
the podcast to Sipa and asked him about it separately. But it's quite interesting to get a take from the third angle.
Yeah.
So for you, like, what did it mean to you when it began, and kind of what were your hopes for it?
The idea just came from us fucking around in my bedroom, and like, yeah, I just got I got a remix opportunity basically, and done that, and then like my friend was working at a label, and he was like, I want to manage you. I didn't even know what a manager was, and then
I still don't.
yeah, and then then I just kept getting more and more opportunities, and then Steve and Sipa and everyone wanted to film these ideas, and then it was kind of simultaneously, but then one of the tunes that we made in the bedroom, Emili Sande, the tune Heaven, like obviously kind of popped off and changed my life a bit.
No doubt.
But then it's kind of like they kind of started to move at a similar time.
Yeah. So it all kind of organically kind of turned a bit mad. But that's dope that it
Yeah.
started out as a bedroom situation. Like, and that's also inspirational for a lot of people knowing that.
Yeah, man.
You know?
It's like, obviously when you first do something like that, people like your friends and stuff give you their opinions, and generally they're like, yeah, it's all right. But
Fuck those people.
yeah, but the risk is what it's about. And
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
that changed everything. Like even music, whatever, you just got to take that risk, innit?
Yeah, I think right now we're at a point with music, with everything, that the stuff coming out of people's bedrooms is as good as, if not better than,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
all these people in these fucking ridiculous studios.
Definitely.
And it's so important to encourage every single fucking kid out there that wants to do it, knowing that you can make a hit record with
Yeah,
whatever
made
you
next to
have.
me in my bedroom in like a shithole in
Yeah.
a flat in Brentford. Like,
Damn.
yeah, obviously they got choirs and shit on it, but the bones of it
In the
was-
bedroom.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
choir.
Bringing them up the stairs. The
Yeah,
lift's
one by
broken.
one.
Yeah.
Bring them up the stairs.
All that
That's it.
shit.
It's
No,
on the 10th floor.
Shit. Was it all these experiences that kind of, you know, that came and inspired the Kurupt FM stuff? Because
no, it's early, like just growing up in Brentford, really, and like going on pirate radio and stuff like that with Steve and other friends and stuff like that was, probably the main.
Did you know like how much of a common experience in terms of for how it would speak to other people? Because for me, straight away, it was like
Itch FM.
anyone, even before. I mean, you, this guy trying to hot me up. And like, I didn't say that, yo.
Yeah.
But on the real, like even before that, I mean, not even necessarily on a hip hop tip, but just the culture of pirate growing up. You know,
I thought we all
around
grew
it.
up around it from being
Yeah.
from London. Like it's you
But
know,
I'm
like-
talking about, I'm saying this from an outside of London perspective, even
Yeah.
though, because I've seen it in, you know, places like Huddersfield, Manchester, Leeds. It still was totally relatable.
Yeah,
Did you have any
No,
idea? You didn't think of it, you just like it's a
didn't, no.
London thing, or it's
Yeah.
even it's a West London thing, or how did you
I
see
thought it was a London thing, definitely,
Yeah.
because like, you know, obviously there was pirates we used to tune into to get the tapes from like
Yeah.
South and East and stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't really realise, man, until we started to do festivals that kids from like Bristol or
yeah,
Nottingham,
Brighton,
all those areas. Yeah, they would tell me that that's what they done when they grew up and stuff. And then I was like,
I mean, some of them places it's kind of still like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You know, it's not actually that far.
How does that compare to you? Because obviously you've been touring for many years around these like towns that aren't London, that all these places that are forgotten about, and you know, do you?
You just parred off the whole country. Yeah. These places around, they're not London.
There's
they're
London, and then there's
about.
small London, and there's some other place that looks like London.
Yeah, this guy, typical Londoner, ain't he?
No, but how do you feel that
Bless him.
these people, you know, that there's so many people that definitely relate to, especially to your music when they. You know, I've been there. I've DJ'd for you in a couple places as well, so I've seen it.
I guess it's the same thing, isn't it? Because it's just like if you're speaking about things that are, or you're speaking from a perspective that is kind of true to you, that you're also not taking yourself too seriously and able to laugh at it a little bit or see the duality of it.
Yeah,
that's common to any, you know, kids anyway. Also, I think that sometimes people forget, like I'm saying, it's still like that in certain places, so people can like write it off.
They still have transistor radios,
but especially right for real. But like especially in London, people kind of write stuff off quickly, where they'll be like, "Oh yeah, but you know, your fans are all." However old now, especially if you've been doing it from a certain era, but it's like, yo, this is just youth music. This is what it is. It's rock and roll. It's just part of the common cultural landscape now. Yeah. They used to think that we were some kind of niche thing. And in a way, that's what a lot of it's about. A lot of the perspective we speak from, whether it's like in the music or with like the show, it's kind of like, look at Doc, for example. Doc's show where he was showing you this perspective of coming from this rap thing that didn't quite fit in. But now look at where he is and he's speaking on it. It's like these are becoming mainstream narratives now. Yeah. You know, this kind of narrative of we used to be this niche thing. Yeah. Ha ha ha. We were looked at like this, but really like now we're here talking about like we might actually be getting people into office and that kind of thing. Yeah. It's real. You know, we're in the information age. So
I feel things circulate though, and when they circulate they get bigger and bigger. Like, no doubt. Especially with like, I can talk from garage. Like now it's certified at every festival. Like, it used to just be drum and bass and reggae. Yeah, like that you'd find in just every tent. But now it's drum and bass, reggae, garage, grime. Yeah, and the same with like UK hip hop as well. Like you see that there's a big like presence of it at most festivals as well.
Yeah. It's crazy how it was the whole UK rap, UK hip hop thing is turned full circle. You must have seen it now. Like it was such a dirty word. Like it just twists and turns though. Don't it? I don't know if it's as simple as full circle. I can see what you're saying though, but it just. Because you're still not a fan of grime. You're not a grime guy, like or you. It's
not even that I'm not a fan of grime. I just felt like I've took objection to the way the media treated it as if
it's new, like
no one had ever rapped before. Like like black kids in a hood in England had never got on the mic and spit bars until Wiley made a record. I thought that was just a massive injustice. To like
even for them, they weren't even sure when Wiley made a record. You know, they didn't even know about that.
But you know, but you feel I'm coming for put on a rave or got on radio or whatever. You know, I don't know the history like that to say this is the marker point. Yeah. But all I know is, hold up, you know. But I think people always see that stance coming from me as, but they're like these rap guys and they're bitter because they didn't have the type of media platform. But I mean, in a way we kind of did, but it's the nature of the media platforms, how something's new. So last year's shit is old. This is what we're selling this year. So we'd kind of already seen it, but also anyone who actually is a music nerd, like I'm a music geek, so how are we going to pretend that none of these other records ever came out? And I'm not talking about my scene. I'm talking about records that was charted in like the 80s and 90s.
London Posse that just were rap to begin with, you know.
You could go, there's so many examples that you could go. So that was really all it ever was with me. And so I think people like, it's not like I don't, obviously I'm a fan of rap. So to me, I'm like, that's rap. That's the other thing I always stood by was the rest of the world, as time passes, are just going to see this as UK rap.
Yeah.
And now what do people call it? They call it UK rap.
I know, it's hilarious.
Right? do they not? But you know, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like, and then I'm sitting there thinking, what? And people thought I was hating for saying that kind of thing. But I'm like, to a mainstream audience, they don't know the difference between Twister rapping and like beat nuts rapping. I'm just going to use some 90s examples. They don't know the difference. So why are they going to know the difference between Flip Tricks rapping and you know, Stormzy rapping? It's rapping. It's a kid rapping. It's a guy rapping. You're going to start getting into breaking that people down demographically, which is what they started to do as well. And that just undermined a whole heap of unity that we actually have in this country and that we have. So again, I was never blaming grime for that, but I'm like, yo, the way the media are treating this is kind of backwards. It's kind of, you know, and then also I feel like it kind of just got political because I might say, yo, they're treating it in a way that's racist, and then people be like, what, racist? Because what, racist to white people? I'm not racist to black people because this is a very one-dimensional representation of young men.
And it's the same. It's the same thing.
They're not only on the arms.
Yeah.
So where's the other? It's all shifted now because people had to understand that was never really coming from the music. That was coming from what people give a platform. You know, like I had a conversation with someone recently. They were gunning some pop artist for like saying, oh, the song was derogatory to women or whatever. And I was like, I have no doubt that it is, but that's the song that the label said, we want this to be the single and we want this to be, you know, you can't just come at the artist 100%. It's a system, it's an entertainment industry.
Yeah.
There are things, you know, if you can package something in an easily understandable way, and often that's kind of derogatory because you give people a simplified version of something, you know what I mean? So
I watched the Whitney Houston documentary last night, and it was really interesting to see that very early on in her career, she had her manager and her producers speaking about it, and that her label were like, no, you can't have anything too black on this album. Right. Like, no, you need to make like white music. And so anything that they would take out like and play to the label, that no, you need more Janis Joplin, whatever. And they said, nah, and he was like, what they meant by that is anything that sounded a little bit like George Clinton or anything like that. Too much funk. And they were like,
the opposite.
Music and the entertainment industry and all of this, it reflects the wider society. So it's how, you know, it's always going to be, the picture's changing every day, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, especially with the internet and all of that stuff now. It's just so quick. Everything's just so disposable.
Yeah.
And I think it's like it's like a challenge now because you can't, where these kind of gatekeepers have maybe like had this narrow kind of view, and that's they're only getting perspective from a certain amount of kind of alternative platforms that are maybe big enough to make it impact.
Yeah.
But now it's like it's so free for the kids to get online and present themselves in whatever way they want.
Yeah.
That a lot of those kind of social stereotypes have to, like, you just...
I just hate the word urban. I hate that shit. That always got to me back in the day. I was like, what the fuck? How can you...
I heard somebody recently saying that a certain artist, and that their manager was describing them as urban jazz, and I thought, but wait a minute, how? Sorry, what is jazz rural? Like jazz is like countryside music. Like, do you know what jazz is? Like, how does
so
what
weird.
is? So I don't know, but it's whatever's gonna like make somebody.
Because punk music is urban.
Yeah, I mean,
You're so ridiculous. Bruv, I'm going to put my album as electronic on fucking
Electronic
iTunes.
country.
Fuck this shit, yeah. Medieval,
electro country,
bro step, jazz, urban jazz,
folk step.
Do you so when you're writing, do you ever have to consider this shit? Do people come to you and go, we need
suburban folk step on this one?
You have those fucking dickheads that come in who've had like some sort of brainstorm and decide that they want their person to sound like Lauryn Hill / Kanye or whatever, all that shit. But like,
and they don't even want that really.
They don't know what they want, man. They just want to bang
one
like
of them brainstorms.
Yeah, it's all that.
Had a brainstorm.
We just do whatever, man. Like it's not that deep. It's just you just got to make something good.
Have you had some really like difficult interactions with some A&Rs? Like what's been your kind of weird, or even the artists themselves, what's kind of been the weirdest thing you've come up? You don't have to name the artist.
One artist washed the Nando's chicken.
Wow.
Pretty weird.
So you told us this before we started recording, but Jehst hadn't heard this story. So tell us a little bit
Just
about...
a big American urban singer.
Wow.
She asked the assistant engineer, the helper dude, to
Helper, dude.
yeah, I feel like I'm part of them anyway. Like I feel like I shouldn't be
You
in
feel
there.
like they make you feel like a helper.
Yeah, and he had to wash her Nando's because she was like,
It sounds like a
You
euphemism.
watched that, right?
It sounds like a euphemism for something else, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like what he had to what?
Insane. So all of the
Like,
flavor,
all of it,
everything.
the fries, everything. Like
no, just the chicken.
just wash the spice off.
Yeah.
Was she like?
I don't know,
She
man.
just likes bland food. Is she from Barnsley or something?
No, she had that
she's not
vibe.
from Barnsley. Alright. She's not from Preston.
It was weird, man. She had like a
no disrespect.
pimp husband vibe. It was a
Wow.
lot. Yeah.
Was he your manager as well?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Husband manager vibes. Hanager, yeah. Had all that shit, man. Sessions are awkward with people you don't know,
Yeah.
like, or that you.
Washed, like where did
Did she
you-
add
I don't
sauces
know.
after?
No,
Did
just
you-
dry.
Were you not? Were you like not trying to figure it out? Like I just want to understand the logic.
I was fascinated. I was like, I'm gonna come with you
And
and
did
watch you
you-
wash it.
and now and break it down.
Yeah, he just washed it.
Was there fairy liquid involved?
No.
Like a scrubbing
Nah,
brush?
Just
Like,
hands, no
no
gloves.
scouring.
No.
No-
just
no
little
marigolds.
Little rinse, yeah.
No-
and then
no
in the kitchen
marigold.
foil. No, not kitchen foil, kitchen roll. Dry it off.
patted it dry.
Yeah, pat it.
Patted,
Give it a little
wow.
pat down and
This mysterious R&B singer who's had many hit records.
yeah.
She's just about that life.
Yeah.
I mean, there must have
Never
been
look
more
at Nando's
awkward
the
scenarios because
same,
you've worked with a lot of people, a lot of records that have been
guy
on the
fishing-
radio.
fishing out here.
You know what? Come on now. We've had some fucking
Lorry.
scoops here on the Thanks for Trying podcast.
Nothing really weird, like just having sessions with people we don't know is just mad awkward sometimes.
Like
man.
Sam Smith's really a lizard.
No, he's actually proper jokes, man.
Oh,
like,
sick.
I wish he was a lizard. He's a sick
On the
guy.
lizard people.
Yeah, he's a sick guy. Some people that are really like sick and inspiring, you're like, wow, I need to step my game up and stop wanting to go
Yeah.
home early and shit.
That's all I want to do in
I was gonna
sessions.
say you just want to go home early.
And then my studio's in my room.
Yeah.
So all I want to do is literally just go to sleep while people are there to see yourself out.
Luckily, because he can't go home, he's still there.
He's trapped.
He's
I'm
forced
trapped.
to step his
You're
game
trapped.
up.
You gotta bounce that
instead
shit
of
off.
going
Yeah.
home. So, but otherwise, he just wouldn't.
You got to do the fake yawn, man.
Otherwise, he's
Oh my
You need
god!
a few techniques.
Tap the watch I don't
Yeah,
have.
to do the fake yawn. That's
Oh,
what I
I've
do.
got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
Don't really have anything to do. Nah, I just don't want a session to last longer than 25 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Just get in, like
Get in,
McDonald's,
put the
right.
bars down.
This
bars
guy's
down and
all
get
about
out.
Get
happy
out.
meals. Strictly.
I've had a guy, horrible, like, big American exec guy who like does loads of horrible shit, like Flow Rider. I'm baiting him up hard.
That's fine.
Yeah, just say he wants a tune with like a theme of youthful exuberance and shit like that.
okay,
Yeah,
that's nice.
horrible stuff. Like,
Yeah, I mean A&Rs are just the worst. I think we've all experienced them in
man.
many forms. I think there's part of that idea that if you can afford to do an unpaid internship for that long
Jeez.
to get a position like that, then you're probably going to be a cunt and you're probably going to have come from money.
yeah. But
So-
that's what's good about now is that like you don't have to come from like a rich family to make music. It's easier to be able to like get your stuff on Spotify and shit like that. So
People see through it a little bit more as well,
yeah, of course.
which is definitely a bonus of our times. Like if you're not legit, if you don't have that whiff of authenticity,
Yeah, you can sniff. People aren't that's probably the wrong word, but stupid anymore. Like because of all of these things, you can find that shit out.
Are you gonna be doing like a producer project?
Yeah, got a few like things, undercover things that are out, like that I've been involved in.
Oh really?
Yeah, like there's
exclusive.
yeah, it's not even that. I just don't think people give a shit. but yeah, there's like a band me and my friend are in. Like,
Okay.
it's not really a band, but
Right.
we want to be a band
There-
called Isle of Indigo. We got one tune on SoundCloud. That's
Sick.
it. Yeah,
Dope name.
yeah. but that's it, really.
Are you playing? What is it? A full band? Like you want a guitar up in there?
No, I can't play anything. I'm just on Logic.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The best instrument there
Logic
is.
9 as well.
Yeah, I'm on Logic 9 as well. But now, like, I got asked to do this this thing where for some magazine about show us around your studio. Could you do this? And I'm like,
Could you?
No, I don't think I
Could you
could.
please not wear more than like boxer shorts and socks, please? If we do this,
fuck.
Yeah.
That
was
stops me from doing everything.
Innit?
No, but it's like I don't really have that much equipment. To be a producer and a writer in this day and age, you don't need that much equipment. So it'd be very boring. I've got a fucking keyboard, a synth, a keyboard, my laptop, my mic, and my preamp, and I don't do it. Nothing else.
You don't need it.
Don't need it.
Nah.
Just need ideas.
But it looks cool when you got loads of shit.
No, it looks really cool. I'm really envious.
Yeah, my ego loves that shit. I love being in a big studio and feeling important for like 20 minutes.
And then you realise it sounds really shit.
In a massive, then you realise that you're literally just using like the headphone jack from the laptop.
Yeah.
It's just going straight to the speaker. Like it's all being
and the
bypassed.
engineer doesn't know how to set the mic up properly and shit, and it's all just hectic.
I've been in those studios where the engineer has no fucking clue, and I'm like, let's take this session to my house.
They hire them in for the day
anymore.
and stuff. Like they're not sometimes anyway.
And we're actually better engineers than most engineers.
I'd never let them touch anything, man. It turns mental. Yeah. Can you mix? Yeah.
I've had some like records just ruined by engineers that supposedly have had like top 10 hits.
Top 10.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
So, Jehst, I want to actually, before we go for the halftime break, for the piss break, I want you to actually tell me
You don't play the Nas record.
one serious point about your album.
A serious point.
When is it out? That's quite an important point. when is it happen? Is it out?
By the time, when people hearing this, it's out.
Oh,
so
shit.
no doubt. It's out now. In the future,
Sick.
which is the past,
shit.
which is now.
Fucking hell.
It's out.
Is it your favourite album that you've done?
It's the best album ever made in the history of any rap-related genre of music.
Another one.
Another one. Is it better than DJ Khaled's latest album?
Better than...
Ooh.
Come on.
He makes the best albums ever,
He
though.
does. I still
85 tracks.
Of course it's better than DJ Khaled's album.
Does he produce those records?
I don't know, man. I don't
his
care.
son is
I just love him, man. I don't watch his Snapchat.
All I
shit
care
anymore.
about is whether or not he gets to the yacht. Like if he's lost on his jet ski, I'll just hope his phone battery doesn't die and he can make it to the
Yacht Alert.
That's
Yacht Alert.
You know what I mean? I don't want to see that brother get eaten by a shark or any kind of marine
I don't want any
wildlife.
harm to come to
I don't
Khaled.
want any harm to come to
No,
Khaled,
same,
man.
man.
Yeah,
Lil
seems
Khaled
nice.
needs him.
He's good for humanity, man. We need a Khaled.
He is. And you know what? He actually paid his dues back in the day.
Yeah.
A fucking,
he
you know,
could DJ
he
and shit.
DJ on radio. He fucking,
Come
he was
on,
great.
come on. Let's
All I
not-
do is win.
All right, we're going to go now for the piss break and we'll be back for part 2 of the Thanks for Trying podcast. One fan. Sorry, we're back on the Thanks for Trying podcast. Let's do the shot. Let's do the shot tradition. Let's cheers. Cheers to you. Thank you for coming. Cheers to you with your
man.
thing.
Salute,
All right.
salute.
I'm not having a shot, but I'm pretending.
It's beautiful. Wow.
Van Damme.
All right. Okay. It's tradition now.
I'll
man.
have a
It's
line
just-
of cat. Get weird.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one. So while we were off air as well, I feel like, I know that we're repeating this, but I feel it's quite important for people to know that you actually went to see Jehst.
Yeah, man. 17 years old, Brighton, front row. Just me and loads of chicks going mad for you.
Rapping.
I was one of those chicks.
The good old days.
Yeah. I was going to offer you a
operation
Zoom.
came a couple of years later.
Yeah.
And here he is today.
A lot of hormones and problems, and I'm here. Yeah.
Hormones and problems.
Yeah.
The album.
The album.
album.
Coming
The
up.
mixtape.
Another one.
That's deep.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I told you I was going to. I would say now can act really nonchalant and unsurprised.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
But
cool.
it makes you really happy though.
Well, at the
still.
time when he actually said it, I actually started
you would have
dancing.
thought I was
did
a
little
piece of shit back
I did
then.
a little jig.
What era was this?
I would have thought you were a piece of shit back then.
Yeah,
We
we
could have
brushed
glossed
past
over that
it.
one, but no, it was
What,
too
like,
good.
Get
It
this
was too
shit
good to
muncher
be-
away from me.
Why? You had a bag of girls with you. You were just in the
No,
front
no,
row.
I
No, it
wasn't with
sounds
the
like-
girls.
Oh,
No.
You were just on your own.
It was just me, and there were girls trying to grab you, and I was
Wow,
I
those
got involved.
days.
How times have changed.
Isn't it? How dare you? How dare you?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. What era? What was his hit?
You see this?
What was his hit
Drifter.
single? Was it Ice Ice Baby? What era was
it? Was the one I did with Rick Astley that year.
Yeah, that banger. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You were going on like women don't try to grab me on stage anymore.
No, no,
How
I
dare
know they
you?
do.
How dare you?
You know what I mean? I'm regularly groped.
I just
Regular.
get dudes who want me to smoke
God.
zoots at their house and play FIFA. So big up those dudes.
And
man.
you, because you were talking about the Kurupt FM shows, how you get a lot of kind of interesting fans and fan offers.
all sorts. Yeah. It's with me. It's mainly dudes that want to smoke weed with me and
Right.
like hang out and play FIFA with them.
Right.
But the others get girls and all that stuff.
Who's getting all the girls? Come on, we're going there.
Who's
now.
getting the girls?
Steve.
Steve's he
He's
could do,
quiet
but he's
and
got a girl.
mysterious,
He's,
isn't it?
he's a good guy.
Quiet and mysterious.
I think we like not me, but they've all had their moments, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Political.
But
yeah.
Jabad is on like men's magazine covers nowadays. Like he's really.
He's
up
got a
there,
girl
like,
now,
he's a
but
taken
you know,
man.
He's a symbol.
he's always been a sex symbol.
He's a
Yeah.
sex symbol, yeah.
He's like
The
Segal
artist
top
formerly
half,
known as.
bottom half Mob Deep. Come on, it's irresistible. And like old Mob Deep,
Classic Mob Deep.
baggy, just everything, Tim's, all that. Yeah.
Damn. So you get people asking to you? They want you to play FIFA with them.
They want
So
me to go back to
go-
their house and smoke weed, basically, and hang out. That's the general vibe.
Bless them. I mean, it's kind of sweet in a way.
Yeah, man.
They want
of
him
course.
to just do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I had
Smart.
to say it.
I just want to do nothing with me.
But that's what
Wow.
it is, isn't it? It's like they want to live the
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's real
The
fandom, though,
aspiration.
and that's
Yeah, man, big
got to
up.
be a beautiful thing because you got, it's when it's eclipsed a certain point where you know that there's people, regular people,
Yeah, it's surreal, man, because I'm just
Yeah.
a piece of shit like everyone else. So
like we all are.
yeah, so yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
But I still won't go back to your house and smoke weed and play FIFA.
I'm still above that. I'm a piece of
Yeah.
shit, but I'm not that.
That's it.
God damn it.
Unless there's an appearance fee.
Nah.
Shit.
Home appearances.
Home appearance.
Wow.
Yeah. Bar mitzvah
Yeah.
money.
God.
I made a home appearance once.
Did you?
Because my jacket had gone missing from a venue. And
shit.
we
You had to go get that shit.
Go and get the jacket.
Was it an Averex?
It wasn't, sadly. If it had been Averex, I would have been even more.
Deep. rolled
Do you
deep
know,
to
it was
get
the fact that it had my house keys and my wallet, and
That-
it was
yeah,
really the
yeah.
issue more than the jacket.
Why do I feel like I remember this
It
scenario?
was a bizarre scenario, man. Like actually going to some kid's house randomly with the promoter and getting let in by his dad at like, and having his dad like go and get him out of his. It was the most bizarre and surreal.
Did he steal the jacket?
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
The night, sitting there, it was just bizarre. It
He
was
stole
so bizarre.
the jacket?
It was really like something out of a
Did he
Coen
steal it 'cause it was
Brothers
cold
movie
or 'cause he
something.
wanted your jacket?
No idea. But I
That's
needed to get
fucked
back
up.
into my house when I went. You know what I mean? I didn't need to go back to
His dad's house.
Kilburn or wherever it was at the time I was living and be stood in the street when I got back.
So
there,
what did
like,
he say to when you came to his door?
He was in a kind of weird state of denial, and his old man was kind of acting like it was something that was like a regular like.
Right. So he had a wardrobe full of
Oh
jackets.
no, it's just bizarre. And then like
had
the
Rodney
promoter,
B's
and then
jacket.
and like because the pops wasn't really like. He was so weirdly lethargic about how he dealt with it. Then the promoter started trying to like parent the kid. It was a bit weird. The promoter like, you shouldn't have took. I was just like,
So how
I
did
need
they
to get
know
the
that he
fuck
took it?
out of
Let's
here?
go.
It was bizarre, man. But
How did they know that
you
it was him that took the jacket? Sorry, this is very interesting to me. There's a lot of logistics here.
We kind of had to kind of
Work
stop
it out.
people leaving the venue, and then when
Someone
you know,
snitched.
and,
Someone snitched.
the rest is.
It was all a ploy.
We have methods
Big
of
up the snitch, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You never know.
Shout out the plug.
Yeah.
Persuasive methods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like Suge Knight methods.
Well, you can't. But like, you got to get. I had to get back into my house. Like, it wasn't one of them. It wasn't like a luxury item. Like if someone had come and jacked something from the rider, or
Yeah.
or
The cashews.
whatever. The cashews,
Fuck that.
they can call. They can
Yeah,
have the
nah,
cashews.
someone getting stabbed if they steal the cashews, man. Fuck that.
Wow, I'll remember that next time I'm around your green room. man.
Yes, you
So,
can. So still
I just
everything-
reach out for a handful of cashews and
You-
just
no.
lose a finger. Like,
you can have my jacket. You can have my keys.
Wow.
Just don't touch
Innit?
my
You can
cash
my
streets,
house.
man.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's. I mean,
Yeah,
you must.
That's the closest to like the going and playing. There was no playing FIFA, but literally sitting on the couch. Could have had a quick game of FIFA while
should
we
have,
waited.
man. I might
for the
actually
kid to
do it
bring
one
the-
time.
I think you should do it. You should. You should
it.
scare someone and actually take them up on the offer.
Go,
Do they
yeah,
want
right.
every member of Kurupt FM to go round, or
I
just
don't know.
you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. They mainly want Chabody G at all times.
Right,
so,
right,
yeah,
right.
I'm sure he would be a
Just
big hit.
all of you
yeah.
in there just to move in.
Yeah.
How are these festivals for you? Because I've spoken to Seeper and
Surreal,
and
man.
yeah.
Yeah, like, I think these people, but they're like, why the fuck are they paying us, these ugly freaks, to dance around for an hour 45 or whatever it is?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's surreal, man.
It's
Yeah.
so good though. You just
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't
do
know,
as
yeah.
much
I
of
don't
it
know
as
if you've seen
possible. Hey, I saw it at Brixton Academy. That was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's fucking just mad, to be honest, man. Like, every time is surreal. Like,
Yeah.
Sick.
And how was it? You won the BAFTA as well. So like that must have been a ridiculous feeling. Like
yeah,
like-
man. I went quiet for about an hour afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just fucking mad. Just being like near Louis Theroux and
The God.
Phil from EastEnders and shit like that. Like,
The other God.
it's like, what the fuck am I doing here? Yeah, but it's mad, man. It's just, yeah. I feel they had to reach a quota or something. Like, we're just part of that. But it's still sick. Like,
The urban quota.
yeah, we hit the urban quota
Yeah.
button like a little bit. And yeah,
You're just urban enough, kid.
just enough.
You're
yeah.
just urban
Did you know
enough.
before you had to go up on stage?
No. Everyone was saying we're not going to get it. There's something
Yeah.
called Fleabag. I've never seen that.
I haven't seen
Wins
it, but it's
everything.
had
Yeah, it's meant to be
great
good.
reviews,
Yeah. So that wins everything. So yeah, I was just like thinking that was going to win, but I just liked the getting picked up in a sick car at my house.
Yeah.
Getting a Ted Baker gave us suits and shit, so it felt
Sick.
important for like a bit. Yeah, no, it's sick, man.
Until,
And when you
until
went
I got
up-
smashed, wrecked the suit.
Until we got there, and I was like,
I always imagine the walking up to the stage, because we had the last guest we had on the last episode was Georgina Campbell, and she won the BAFTA Best Actress the year two years ago, and she did the same thing. She said she had no idea that it was going to be her, and when it was called, it was like it's freaking out. Like, how do you?
yeah, well, they kind of had a plan just in case, and then like because we were with Ash and he's in a wheelchair, couldn't actually get on the stage quickly, so we had to like fill the time.
And where's the award now?
I didn't get one.
Oh,
There's only
it's
3.
beef.
There's only 3, so like, yeah, had to give it to the people that probably deserve it more than me, like Steve and the producer John and Ash. So
Right.
yeah, it's all good though.
That's kind, man. That's really kind. They could at least make you one of those like sketch ones. They could,
yeah, no, you get a
with
certificate.
charcoal.
I think you get a
Take
certificate.
a photo of it.
Yeah, I've got a photo.
Great, that's
Yeah.
important. You
Yeah.
can put that up in the
Ornamental
toilet.
piece,
I've got a UMA that I stole
Sick.
from an act that I won't name publicly.
Not really
But
the same, is it?
it's not the same.
Right.
But it's there anyway. I put a sticker over the top of the bit with a name on it, and I've just wrote Skeptik, best guy ever.
That's what you want, man.
So that's pretty much
Yeah, you're
that's as
killing
good
it
as
as
a
well,
BAFTA,
man.
right?
We're all award winners here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
One day you can make it to his level.
I'm ready.
You can
man.
be the best guy
Please,
ever one day.
Please help me.
Shit.
He'll show you. It's fine.
You must have won awards in your time. Come on, you must have won.
Not yet.
No love.
I feel like Falling Down was so well received for everything.
Yeah, I mean, but apparently so.
It's a great album.
Thank you, appreciate that. No awards. I mean, no one's really giving out awards for. There are people getting awards. People are getting awards for kind of what I do, but not really what I do. Do you know what I mean? So they got a wood plaque somewhere in Camden,
Sick.
in like in the underworld somewhere in the. In the
Where
back
Kung
there.
Fu used to be.
Yeah,
Kung
probably.
Fu,
Let's
yeah.
go and check. There should be.
Did you go to Kung Fu back in the day?
No, I didn't. Man. I was too young, and like I was worried it might be a bit stabby.
It was
Oh,
never.
it was so.
Kung
It was
Fu
so
was never
not,
stabby.
Yeah, it was really not that, man.
We never went out to North ever when we
Yeah.
were younger. Yeah, I don't know why.
You were kind
I
of.
mean,
north, though.
yeah, I mean, you know,
But
there were
IKEA was as far north as we go.
North, there was some crazy, it's kind of a crazy place, but that we didn't pop up. You know, people knew to hold
Kung
it
Fu
down.
was-
when
I
they
wish
were
I
there,
did
man.
go though.
People knew
Like
to hold
it
down.
was, iconic vibes. Icon alert.
I can't.
Yeah.
And you know, I like Jazz Cafe. I ain't actually been back. I ain't been there since they've just like after many years, like refurbed it, and
Yeah,
that's
it's
kind of
very
crazy
strange
because
venue.
that's like so much history there.
I saw Slum Village there when I was younger.
When
Lost
Dilla
my
was
mind.
in a wheelchair.
No, I didn't get to see that one, man.
Yeah, I didn't
go
see
to
that
that.
either. But you know, I saw Dilla at the Plastic People, and that's crazy when that went. You know, and I was just thinking about that the other day. I randomly saw. I was like, damn,
That was like my sort of
that was. I bet,
spot for a long
right.
time.
Dubstep as well.
Yeah, like it was sick, man. I loved it there. It's
Yeah.
a shame.
And the was it CDR?
Plastic People was sick.
Yeah, man, it's important.
But it
man.
was quite. It was.
Beatmakers?
It was quite. It was quite abrasive. I remember because I was never into dubstep.
Yeah.
So going into Plastic, I played
No,
two
but it
sets
was an
there,
ill
and it
sound
was.
system for
Yeah, it was sick. I played all vinyl
whatever
like
in
rap
there,
set
you know,
once
like-
there.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
sick, but it was it was a bit much when dubstep was first starting out, and I decided I didn't like dubstep from the
Okay,
beginning.
You made the decision.
I made the decision.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of like, it was I mean, even probably still is like a space for a certain kind of hip hop art. Well, I mean, I say still is, it's not there, but that kind of venue, it fills a space that like it needs to be accommodated. Like if you think about it, there wasn't really anywhere else for someone like a Dilla or a Madlib.
The club scene's in a very. It's a great place at the moment because there is so much hip hop. Like in one night, there's fucking a bunch of good
Yeah,
nights.
no, I
to
like
go
that,
to.
man.
That's interesting.
But you know,
That is that kind of like one of the things when you're referring to when you're saying, you know, about it coming in your mind, coming full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yet, but on the flip side, there's one thing that's slightly missing for me that I've kind of said a lot is there's not really nights where I could go and play brand new music that no one knows.
Right.
And that like when I played in India in January, and one of the best things about it was every gig that I played, I could play 1 a.m. in a club that's rammed and just play 2 hours of my own music that no one knows. And if it's bassy as fuck,
just
everyone's
vibes
dancing.
into it, yeah.
And that's the one thing that's really missing from clubs in this country anyway.
I think people have a certain expectation though when they're paying like, I don't know how much it is to get into a club, but like tickets like £25, £20. Like you want it to be like fucking sick.
You want to hear the Drake album back to back.
I want to hear the
I
Drake
wanna hear
album,
the
and
Drake
I want to hear
album.
all that shit. I don't want to hear some electronic bollocks. I'm joking. I just want to just enjoy it, but like
Yeah. There's a freedom to that as a DJ being able to play whatever the fuck.
But then
that you
also when
want.
I was younger, I just liked just bass lines, not like wobbles, dubstep shit.
Yeah.
You know, like the real stuff.
Yeah.
I used to like proper appreciate that
because
man.
dubstep evolved, like it wasn't EDM, right? Like because
Nah.
for
I'm
people
not that I
don't
know about it.
Are you talking about the, you know, like
Early
the,
days.
like the DMZ, like
Yeah,
the Mala,
DMZ,
Conkey,
Mala, all those guys.
Big Bar.
Yeah,
that shit was good.
Yeah,
all that stuff was sick.
Yeah,
very serious.
And then it just went
very serious
fucking
music,
weird.
man.
Yeah.
yeah, a bit too.
Even like even you know, burial stuff was
Oof.
amazing, and but actually within that scene, that was kind of seen as being a little bit outside it and more
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that was hyped by the media. But like to me, that was
That's
amazing.
a classic. Fucking, he's a sick guy, man.
And people still don't know who Beryl is, right?
Well, they need to fucking.
just put-
Google
no, I
it.
mean, no, they
he just put out a new record,
No, but
and it's basically like sound design. There's not really any like beats.
But I
on
mean,
it.
they still don't know who he is as a human being.
But people know who he is.
He done a picture,
People
didn't he?
know
Because
who
people
is.
were like
Did he?
saying he was all sorts
He
of
just
people and
didn't
that.
court it. He didn't court the.
He's not about that
celebrity
life.
culture, but
Yeah,
people
So who is he?
fuck knows, but
He's
sick.
Banksy.
Yeah, he's part of Banksy's crew.
Can anyone enlighten me on something that I saw very briefly flash up in on the news, which was something about Banksy offering?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, right. Can
What
you?
did he do?
He basically offered anyone in, was it just Bristol? Anyone in Bristol a free print if they voted not Tory in Bristol.
Oh, what? So you could vote anyone?
You can
other
vote
than
anyone,
Tory.
just not Tory, and I'm guessing not UKIP as well. But like, but
you
then,
never know. You never know. He might
never
have
know.
been endorsing. Who knows?
But then I think it backfired because
Well, the
you
electoral
can't-
committee said you can't. This is illegal.
It's
so
kind of
he had to withdraw
bribery.
it.
Yeah, that's understandable. It's a nice idea.
But I thought, it did make me think. Yeah, fair play. Go on.
Big up the guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk to you about while I had you here is that because I was going through a bunch of my records, I got rid of loads of records recently. recently.
Not a minor hope.
Well, this is it. I couldn't get no. I couldn't get rid of. I couldn't get rid of the classic UK rap records. I couldn't do it. So all the ones that I've kept are the classics. You know, whether it be all the Universal Soldiers records, which are just fucking classics. You know, Trilogy Remix, obviously. You know, all of that shit. I've got fucking Warblow. You know, if you know,
I played that at my prom. It went off.
What?
Yeah.
That was a back. Listen, if
was
you out there, if you're not
school prom, not that I.
Do you know what? Can I
Your
just,
American
can I
school
just be
prom.
real? Like that actually, that was so big that it kind of got to the point where I actually forgot that the Black Rob record ever existed.
So this, I should explain first. For
I'm
listeners out there.
I'm not even saying that to be like on a hype. I genuinely
it was a great
forgot.
record. And it's important to note that like back in the UK rap days, a group called a rap crew called Task Force, who are fucking incredible. Basically took the instrumental of a classic of a US rap record which was huge at the time and did called Woe, and did a dub of it. It's called Warblow, which at the time in the area is you know it's like saying what's up. So and
is that old that we have to explain Warblow? Do you have to explain?
It's got to be an inclusive audience.
Okay,
you know you've got to include everybody. And this record was a very important. You know, it got printed on white label vinyl for the kids that don't know what that is.
White label.
Google it. And it was a dub, and it was fucking sick. But to the point where all the pirate radio stations were just playing Warblow.
To the point where it was getting played at the prom.
It was getting played.
Was it by oversized suit, shoulder pads of fleek, shelling it down Warblow?
Damn, looking like Zach Morris.
Yes, looking like a young me.
Yeah,
looking like young me. Looking like
an 80s TV presenter. Killing it, frosted tips.
Wow, that's fucking deep. And also, a side note that I'm going to come back to that.
Oh, okay.
But I've got my own tangent now. No, because like, I've had a couple vodkas, and I do want to come back to me selling records. But I've I've been listening to this podcast about interesting TV conspiracy theories.
Oh shit!
And I heard some shit about Saved by the Bell. I don't know if you've heard about this.
Oh, about the dude.
No, this is about like this fascinated me about Saved by the Bell. That apparently it's all a dream. It's all Zach's dream.
It was all a dream.
So basically, there's this complete theory, that there was a TV show like called something like Miss Bliss or some shit like that. There was a TV show that came before starring the guy that plays Zach Morris. And he plays a character called Zach Morris in this show.
Is this like less a conspiracy and more like an episode?
No, this is a serious theory. Like this, and this is
did
very
they not
interesting.
make this as an episode? Like, we've got to end the series.
No. This came before Saved by the Bell. This is very. You're gonna like this, all right? So,
okay, my bad.
So
sorry.
in it, he's downtrodden. He's like not popular in school. The head teacher is this Miss Bliss woman who's like super funny, and she's the star of the show and everything. He's got AC Slater, played by the guy that plays AC Slater. Hates Zach Morris. He bullies him. Screech is in it, played by Screech, and he's pretty much the same character, right?
Yeah.
That TV show got cancelled. 2 years later, Saved by the Bell comes out. Zach Morris, played by the same guy, is in fucking Bayside. He's not. The original show is in Idaho or some shit in the middle of nowhere. He's in California. This is crazy.
Sorry, this is what
and all of a sudden he's the hero of the story, right?
Wow.
And so what
this
they're
is the
saying,
theory, or you're saying there was this other show?
That show actually happened.
Oh, that existed.
It existed. So basically, the theme song is all about like waking up late, missing the school bus, and it's all about this kid Zach Morris, which is downtrodden, everybody hates, and he's in class just drifting off because everyone hates him.
Zach Morris is a working class hero. That's what.
Then he wakes up by the bell, and he's in a dream which is Saved by the Bell.
This is where you're going. I knew it was going to be some kind of Stanley Kubrick, Orwellian type,
it's very
Alan Moore shit.
Little theory.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that? If the whole of Saved by he stops time, man. Come on,
I'm cool with
he stops
that.
time in the episodes.
I'm cool with that
Inception
because, like,
sort of.
Yeah,
I'm down. I hope it is that.
I really hope it is that, man. It's just such a beautiful. It makes me appreciate the show so much more. It's dark. He can't stop time, bruv. Like That's a dream.
It's still going.
No, I'm in it now. You can't get me out of it.
30 seconds ago, he's about to edit it out. No, look.
Right,
See,
no.
the idea is if he goes for long enough, then I have to get it out now.
If you're listening to the podcast at home and you're down with this whole idea, you know, just hit me up, because I think it's quite a serious thing that we all need to talk about.
I think you should actually dedicate. You should source the correct guests and actually do an entire
investigation.
Yeah. Just on, not even on like TV show conspiracies, just on Saved by the Bell.
On Saved by the Bell. I should get a collected dossier maybe of information.
I'm not sure who you could get on that show though.
Probably the guy that plays Zach
No,
Morris.
but I mean in real, like, I mean, is he? I don't know if he's regularly available.
The other guy went a bit.
Is he in your
mad?
Screech.
He went a bit rapey, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Poor,
Yeah. He did. He
I don't like
porn star.
when
he did
going
the porno.
Yeah.
He did he Hitler the girl in the porno.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we've all got our niches.
I'll ask no more questions about.
Just Google what Hitlering is if you don't know, fans at home. So, all right, back to UK rap. What I wanted to do. So I was getting rid of all the records, but obviously kept all of your records.
You got rid of everyone's record except Universal Soldiers.
And
I think that's what you said. So I don't know whose other records you're cussing. I'm just going to get the vodka and brace myself.
I came
for this.
back round to Champions of Nature, and then obviously onto High Plains Anthem. How do you feel about? That's what I wanted to ask. Is how do you feel about High Plains Anthem today?
I actually genuinely had to seek kind of approval from those guys for that. That was like my dossier. Like that was my, you know, how I was thinking about stuff, because I had like my mind set on a certain type of sound.
Yeah.
That I felt like Lewis in particular,
Lewis Parker
had that sound. Lewis Parker had that sound,
producer.
which is what he would call the golden sound.
Mm-hmm.
And people nowadays would say golden era rap, golden era hip hop, whatever. And Eva Led, I'd learned a lot about how to make beats from Eva Led, and using like the Akai, the 950, and just the kind of filter techniques that you were kind of hearing beat miners do. I was a big fan of the beat miners. So the way I was kind of trying to learn, I was just trying to get around the guys that I could learn. Right now, who else can I learn from? And Brain Tax, God forbid me mentioning his name, but I've done it now, was working with Lewis. Yeah, like for me, the High Plains record, that was the point at which I felt like, from the minute I knew Lewis was feeling the beat for the High Plains Anthem, I would just say that real, like I can be real. I was seeking approval.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Man.
And it was like, well, if this guy thinks it's ill, because this guy's got the beats, as far as I'm concerned, he's making stuff that really sounds like, you know, or he sound like his own thing, but just that had the kind of sonic quality where you can't tell me it's not bumping the way the American stuff is, which is what the argument at the time kind of was. I mean, it was a wishy-washy time for like people doing. It's not like people haven't been doing hip-hop or doing rap records in the UK for years, but it was a bit of a time where there was a kind of like, because really this is before So Solid dropped and things like that really changed the landscape and stopped. I think as within the music industry as well, it was something. Lewis was kind of an anomaly. Lewis was one of the few people that was out on Virgin.
Yeah, that's right.
When really there was no rap signed to mainstream. Like it was kind of like they dabbled with it in the 80s or the early 90s, and it hadn't really popped, like other than a couple of artists like a Moni Love or whoever, and it had kind of been washed, like been swept off the face of like the history books almost, and the you know, like we can't sell that because where do we sell it? We've got. I think the idea was that they felt like they had to sell it to Black America, and that they didn't think they could, which is kind of funny when you look at what's happening right now.
Yeah,
in terms of the response to certain UK, and what is essentially UK rap, UK hip hop, some derivative of. We could call it grime. We could call it whatever. Road rap.
I mean, the first UK rap record, or the first record that I ever bought that I heard a British voice on, was Mark B and Blade, because I heard it on the radio. You know, and it was definitely more. It was a record that had more of a commercial aspect to it, because it, you know, So it was definitely an accessible thing for someone that had only listened to Tupac.
So I remember a tune with him and like RZA or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Does that exist?
Blade, Blade was on a record
just in my imagination.
No. And Mr. Tibbs was on there.
Yeah.
Skinny Man was on there. Yeah.
But you just made me think something about the Mark B and Blade, the Unknown record. You literally hadn't crossed my mind until now, but in a lot of respects, the Loyal Corner, Yesterday's Gone album is kind of filling a kind of space that Mark B and Blade, the Unknown, kind of filled at that time, where it's like you say, it's making a kind of accessible inroad into a certain type of sound and a certain type of scene, because that the Mark B and Blade, it had the Chester P verse, it had the Lewis Parker verse, it had like your inroads to like these are the other guys to and I feel like Loyal's kind of done that with the getting me on the record.
And in a way, that's kind of what reminded me. I love the J Hus album, because in a way there's bits of it which reminded me of that kind of stuff, the accessibility that gets people into just straight up rap. And he's talking a bunch of grease that's kind of funny, but not in a completely different way that Rodney P was doing it, or someone else of that era. And I rated that record. J Hus album's sick.
That's real.
But before we wrap up this episode of the Thanks for Trying podcast, I wanted to just quickly chat to you, Hugo, about the next season, because you've just finished filming.
Man. Yeah, been getting up early, mad early,
super early.
Yeah, learning lines. Like I can't do that very well. Yeah,
shit.
Like crayons and shit. But
can you have cue cards?
I'd love that. I'd love that. Yeah. No, it was sick, man. It's proper surreal every time.
Yeah.
I can't believe that there's all these people running around after us.
Fucking great.
Madness.
And has it gotten bigger because of the has the crew gotten bigger? Has the setup done?
Not really. Like, and we tried to keep the vibe on set good. Like, there's no like hierarchies or like like we talk to everyone. It's just we just want it to be a good vibe, and I feel that's really important. Like,
good. The catering good?
No, the catering was dead actually.
Oh, man.
But like the caterers were nice people, so a big up Deliveroo as well, man. So that's a game changer.
Damn. So I was gutted. I wanted to fucking cameo and I wasn't in the country.
You're too active, man.
Bro,
too active.
Next season, I'm there. So when's this coming out? When's the next?
I think it's in September, but I don't know. Like, but I've been told September, but it will change, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And like, because you got to fit into like a scheduling thing I know nothing about.
Fucking scheduling. It's the man keeping us down.
The Illuminati.
It's the
fucking schedule us in.
It's
please.
Jay-Z.
Yeah, Jigger Man, schedule me in. I'm ready.
All right, well, thank you so much. That's been episode 15 of the Thanks for Trying podcast. Thank you so much to my guests, Hugo, Beats, and Jehst. Big up yourself. You've been listening to episode 15 of the Thanks for Trying podcast with myself, the last Skeptik. Shout out to my guests, Jehst, Hugo, DJ Beats. Big thank you to Seb White for recording the show. Do not forget to subscribe, comment, all of that, and buy your goddamn tickets now for September 17th. Thanks for Trying podcast live at the Phoenix in central London. Big up yourselves. Catch you next month.